than a half century.
Go to hell, whoever you are.
A 250,000-mile voyage. A voyage along the great cosmic bridge.
4, 3.
You notice how it adds the effect the cameraman shakes the camera for some reason. You know, there would be no reason to shake the camera, and it's just for dazzling you. That's what it's for.
2, 1, ignition, and liftoff. Go SpaceX, go IM-1 and the Odysseus lunar lander.
From the launch pad at the Kennedy Space Center to the target of the south pole of the moon, a commercial lander named Odysseus, powered by a company called Intuitive Machines, launched upon a SpaceX rocket carrying a bounty of NASA scientific instruments and bearing the dream of a new adventure in science, innovation, and American leadership in space. Well, all of that aced the landing of a lifetime.
And that, my friends, is propaganda and product placement. Touting all of these companies because they're the contractors getting a portion of the over $400 billion a year that is being stolen from every taxpayer. And that's the truth, because it's a lie. This is a photograph that's been put all over the world in the last few days. Every news outlet is publishing this photograph, and they are alleging that this is a real photograph taken from this spaceship. But it's impossible. And the reason why it's impossible is because this is Australia and it's too big. Even if this was a fisheye lens, what's visible on one half of Earth from that distance would still be proportionate. It might be a little morphed somehow, but you would see the other land masses. Let's look at a picture of Australia. And of course, you can't find an actual picture of the globe because it's not real, but you can see how small it is, you know, proportionate to the Earth, of the globe, of what they even lead us to believe. It's, you know, a lot smaller there. Well, it's a lot smaller. I mean, even the CGI pictures that we get are different sizes. I mean, it's always a different size, I guess, because they're not real. But let's take this in Photoshop.
And it is an incredible shot. But something's not quite right, is it? Australia seems to have expanded a massive amount on this globe Earth. Struggling to see any of the bits of landmass. And that's what I thought, because when I get Google Earth up and I sort of align Australia with the intuitive machine shot here, and you can see there's an obvious problem. Not only has Australia expanded massively, but you can't see any of the other bits of landmass around. Yeah, very strange. I'm sure some globe fantasists will come up with some delusional excuse.
Put the exposure up, because there should be stars back in this field of view. There should be never-ending stars, which really, you know, they say that the exposure gets set so you can't see the stars in the picture, and that's why it's always black. That's why they never show stars in any footage, obviously, because if the stars were there, person with any background of astronomy, they could calculate where that is and if it's even real. So that's why they can't do it, because they're faking it. But there should be stars in this background, so when you overexpose it, it should bring in that light, right? So let's put the exposure all the way up and look at that. Perfectly black, because this is a CGI image. It's a cartoon, okay? So one more proof that it's a faked photo. And they are claiming that this is an actual photograph taken from this spaceship. Okay.
It's a much easier place to launch deeper into the solar system.
How does people live with themselves? Like, what are they actually doing, right? You think about what are these actual people doing here? Look at this BS. Do you think really this is a joke? It's an absolute joke. Tinfoil, cardboard. They're using the same cardboard here. Look at this, folks. Let me see if I can blow this up. Looks like cardboard here, right? Tinfoil, tubes from Home Depot. Yeah, I don't buy it. I don't buy it for a second.
It really is the launching pad into human exploration out into deep space.
Yes, we're willing to blow down.
So here we go again. More fake space moon landing brainwashing propaganda going on here. Okay, I have to say this. NASA is a criminal organization, just like the banksters, the pharmaceutical companies, the weapons industries, right? They're all there to take your money, right? This has nothing to do with space exploration, folks. It has nothing to do with space. It's all about taking your money. This is, I don't know what you call a Ponzi scheme or a money laundering, right, scheme. That's all it is. That's what NASA is, right? Sometimes they show you these images of, planets and everything, but really they're taking your money. That's all there is. And brainwashing your kids.
Is the first business to land a private spacecraft on the moon, but it wasn't all smooth sailing.
And we'll stand by and monitor as Nova Controls continues to work.
All they're doing here is taking your money and filtering out and giving to these private organizations, right? It's a criminal organization, folks. You shouldn't be, don't think NASA is your friend. They're your enemy.
I was expecting, and I was told by the intuitive machines that they'd be taking pictures all the way in. Didn't get anything. Just a bunch of bored blokes who've just had something confirmed to them via some numbers. But no footage whatsoever. No imagery. Nothing. This is a joke, ladies and gentlemen. This is how ridiculous space has got. If you don't call this out, they are going to continue pushing this nonsense.
The vehicle is stable near or at our intended landing site. We do have communications with the lander. We think we came down with, like I said, about 6 miles an hour this way and about 2 miles an hour this way, and caught a foot in the surface, and the lander has tipped like this. And we believe this is the orientation of the lander on the moon.
That's a funny way to put it.
Yeah. The vehicle is stable near or at our intended landing site. We do have communications with the lander. We think we came down with, like I said, about 6 miles an hour this way, and we believe this is the orientation of the lander. Well, hello everybody. This is the first briefing about being on the surface of the moon for the first time in about 52 years in this room. This is a photo that I thought you'd find interesting that we'll release to the public here. Here we're flying about 10 kilometers over the surface of Schamberger crater near the South Pole region of the moon. We're still about 200 kilometers uprange from where our intended landing site is. We think we came down, and we believe this is the orientation of the lander on the moon. And we are collecting science, and we've collected science along the way. This is the X direction, and the tanks were reading gravity on the moon.
If you believe this stuff, you're really, literally too stupid to insult. Thank you.